Hey everyone, welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have the very first race of the A Link to the Past, no major glitches, Season 10 League. Today we have FoxLisk versus shkoople, and here to tell you all about it, we have MChan338 and Chex Human, and they will take it from here.
Hello, welcome. It's week 1 of NMG League, and I am Chex. And how are you, M-Chan?
I'm doing very good. I'm very excited to kick off the tournament for our first match of the tournament here. This should be a very exciting matchup as these guys have very high level times. They even qualified, a couple seconds apart from each other, looking at the qualifying list for seeding. So this should be a very good race.
Yeah, and so it's NMG League. We have our file names, our auto-generated file names for each runner. And they are just getting set up, and then they'll get started.
Yeah, so for anybody new here, the FoxLisk has a time of 1:23:53, and shkoople has a time of 1:24:57. Both very respectable times. It definitely takes a lot of effort to get times that are that low in this category.
Yeah. Our runners have been running for years, so
Yeah.
it will be a close race. We'll see a lot of, the same movements throughout. And for anyone not familiar, since this is the first race of League this season, it is a no major glitches category, so it is meant to be a fast playthrough of A Link to the Past with no major skips, no major glitches, and our runners will be getting started any second.
Yeah. The race time countdown has started, and they are off. All right, here we go. So this is no major glitches. So they cannot go out of bounds. They can't clip anywhere. They can't use wrong warps. So this is A Link to the Past done in a way that everybody's familiar with. You do all the dungeons, and there are some sequence breaks that they do every once in a while, but nothing super crazy to where you will lose track of what's going on.
Yeah. There's I would say there's a sequence break after Desert just to save 7 seconds or so, but it's not, it's just a faster way around the overworld fake flippers, that is.
Yeah. So we'll get to that in about 18 minutes from now. So the runners are off. They gotta rescue Zelda in Hyrule Castle. They got the sword, and now they'll be going into Castle of Hyrule. So one thing, if for those who have never seen a run of this game, you will not. It's kind of hard to notice, but they are mashing their D-pad anytime they're facing left or up, and that is so they can reset Link's movement animation in order to save pixels here and there. It doesn't save a whole lot of time over the course of the run, but it can add up to being a few seconds over the course of the run for some optimal movement.
Yeah. Let's see, the guard. Okay, so Fox got a bop from a guard. shkoople escaped cleanly.
Yeah, so there's little bits of minor RNG everywhere, which can add up as well. So a lot of the optimizations come down to reading and reacting to enemy patterns, and that was one of the first examples there.
Both runners used up slash for the first map guard.
So they're coming up to their first item, which is the boomerang. It is a completely optional item, but they pick it up anyway because it's actually very useful, because you can stun enemies as well as grab items, such as right here, where they grab that key from the distance without having to physically pick up the key.
If
And now they're approaching... Go on.
A fun fact, I think it's helpful to have the boomerang because you get 300 rupees in Village of Outcasts on a building that depends on whether you have boomerang or not.
Yeah. So we're seeing two different variations here on the ball and chain approach. We saw one plus strat. Oh my gosh. This is the first hard part of the run here, because the ball and chain guard does 1 heart of damage, so it is very easy to die if you're not careful enough. And with how many races that we're going to be having throughout this tournament, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we'll probably see a death on ball and chain guard at some point, but fortunately not today.
Well, it's decided. The 1 pot strat is objectively better. Thank you, shkoople, for demonstrating.
Yeah, so shkoople did a bit of a safer approach on the ball and chain guard, which is 1 part 4 slashes. What Fox was trying to do there was is technically the fastest variation, 8 slashes, but as you can tell, very risky. But he made it through just fine. And so now they gotta take Zelda through. Oh man.
Fox knows how to move through that room, so it wasn't really dangerous, but I just remembered he's out at half a heart.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have a lot of items to work with, so 3 hearts is definitely very scary early on in the game.
Yeah.
There is an opportunity where you can pick up a heart, so to where it makes the sewer section safe. But if he gets really unlucky throughout the sewer section, then the damage that he takes in the sewer section can add up. So we'll see what his approach is here.
Once we touch the ornamental shelf, we get a save point, I believe. Like a save warp point.
Yeah, I believe so, too, yeah. So you wouldn't lose too much time. So he picked up the heart there, which is a pretty smart move, especially with that kind of pattern right there. And you'll notice that that both runners are using the boomerang. Here's another usefulness about the boomerang here. You can stun the enemies and go right through them. Also, using the boomerang is slightly faster than slashing the enemies as well, because as throwing the boomerang has a faster animation than throwing the sword. So here's another RNG part right here. Okay, that's a pretty good pattern. Both of them getting pretty good patterns here with that key rat.
So our runner is going up the left side of the hallway. Koople's first into the doorway.
Throwing the boomerang and a slash, depending on what the rats give you. And they actually walk right in order to skip a text trigger, saving about a second, and then 55.
We've got rat frames for shkoople. So we saw Fox enter Sanctuary first, but shkoople gets to save on lag frames. So we might see him come out of the text box first.
Oh, interesting. So that treasure chest right there is the only free heart container that they're going to be getting. Now, most runners in this category will pick up this heart container, even though it is optional and it's technically suboptimal to skip it. Since this is a race, and you'll very likely see most runners pick up the Sanctuary heart container, unless you're like amongst the best of the best. And you're very confident enough that you can skip the heart container. But the 1 extra heart it can make a very big difference in your survivability in this game.
Yeah, and in races, it's surprising how few runners pick up Sank Heart. And that just goes for wanting to stay alive during a race, because it's no reset.
Yeah.
coming up to the Armo statue. There we go. I tried to look at what each runner did, but I couldn't really see what Link did. There's basically either a sword slash or a boomerang throw, and it doesn't matter too much which is used.
Yeah. So into Eastern Palace, it's actually worth noting also that in No Major Glitches, it is technically faster to save and quit in order to get to East Palace faster, but our main category of this game does not allow the use of save and quit, which is why you didn't see them do that at all.
That's right. I don't remember what does save and quit save exactly. It's about 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, over the course of the run, yeah, you can save about 2 minutes. Both runners are picking up arrows in order to not rely on a arrow drop towards the end of the dungeon.
Yep.
And so coming up, they're about to come to one of our first sequence breaks of the run. So in the room where they're about to pick up the big key, there's a bunch of enemies, and normally they have to kill all the enemies. But what they're going to do is they're going to do a damage boost off of one of the enemies, and then use the iframes in order to go inside the anti-fairy surrounding the pot that has the switch, and then pick up the pot while they have iframes in order to hit the switch just like that. Both runners doing it very nicely.
Well done.
So it doesn't seem like a lot, but that does save like 40 seconds because killing off all the enemies in that room takes quite a while.
We have the big chest. Our runners grab the bow and avoid skeletons. It's also fun to watch how far the skeleton heads move. They both moved a little bit. And then in the next room after this key, we'll see how close the anti-fairies are to show how much time has elapsed in the room. Nice distance for Fox.
We're coming up to the cannonball room, completely random.
Yeah. Okay. That evens it up a little bit.
Yep. Oh!
Oh no.
Ooh, that's not good. Okay.
Shkoople misses
Fox,
a cycle.
first one into Armos Knights. Seeing the same. Oh, wow! I've never seen this before. Oh, Shkoople takes a hit. Okay, just fine. All right. So as you can see, both runners did this fight in a pretty specific way to where the last Armos would normally turn red, but they did it in a way where they can kill the last Armos before it turns red. Because if the last Armos turns red, then he gains all of his health back, which loses time and loses arrows.
Both runners used 5 right, 1 down strat, which is an easier way to get a 13 room time.
Yeah. Alright, so now that they completed Eastern Palace, they're going to get the Pegasus boots from Sahasrahla, and it allows them to go really fast, but additionally, where you're going to be seeing FoxLisk do, just like that, is he presses A right after releasing a spin attack in order to put himself into his super speed state, so that way he goes really fast without having to, like, use dash multiple times throughout that large screen. And so in that large screen in particular, it does save a few seconds, and then there's some smaller screens where it saves very little time, but that time save does add up over the course of the run. The more optimal you cut your movement, and we're seeing FoxLisk not go for this one. This one only saves 20 frames if you do it perfectly.
Yeah, Fox doesn't go for that. And shkoople basically chooses not to. And
Yeah.
there's a fence on that screen that is interesting to me. Fox walks past it and then dashes, and shkoople dashes into it basically just to nudge it. Uh-oh, Fox
Oh,
misses
okay,
speed
misses
here.
that one. Yeah, so
At
as you can
least,
see right
yeah.
here, this is this is another instance where super speed doesn't really save a whole lot of time. So if you miss it once, you're already losing time over if you're just doing the dashes.
And what we saw from shkoople was a dash dust, and that tends to mean that B wasn't released. But what shkoople does is hold on to the B button just in case that happens. So he's able to keep the charge and try the release once more. And they're into the desert of mystery.
Yeah, so Desert
And
Palace is is the first major demonstration of how useful dashing is. As they go through the dungeon, there's a lot of long hallways where it's much faster to dash through as opposed to just walking through them. And so for the new viewers, you'll notice that there's a startup animation every time Link dashes, so it's not always worth dashing. So if you're about 4 tiles or more, then it is worth dashing. Otherwise, in some smaller distances or a few other circumstances, it's worth walking.
that's right. Here's those long hallways you're talking about. And then, of course, diagonals are important when you need to go diagonally. You just cut corners. It's okay to touch walls and such.
Yeah. So we got more RNG here, both of them having to do an extra dash in this cannonball room. So the runners are going to be stocking up on arrows. Having a lot of arrows in this dungeon is especially useful because this dungeon is really easy to go through, and then you top it off with a pretty annoying fight at the end of the dungeon.
Oop. Well, I'm curious. I bet we'll see Fox pick up that blue rupee on the way back. Let's see if it's still there. Yep.
It is. Yeah, so they need at least 5 rupees for a rupee drop for the rupee route, as they can get the rest of the rupees, automatically as part of the route.
And to me, it looked like a mistake to not pick it up, but it's probably better. Oh, Fox went for the spin speed. It looked like I couldn't tell. I thought he buffered to lamp, but he paused anyway.
Yeah. That's a very scary spin speed to go for, because if you're not careful enough, you can fall off, and then you gotta redo the dungeon over again, and it loses quite a lot of time.
Yeah. A risk our runners are willing to take.
Yep. Yeah, so what you see the runners do as well, in order to optimize movement, is every once in a while they are pausing, like right before they're about to end off a dash as well, in order to buffer their movements as well. So you're seeing that a couple of times from both these runners. So we got 29 arrows and 28 arrows for both of these. It's a good amount of arrows going into the Land Mollusk fight. So this is another equalizer potentially. So let's see what happens here. Fox taking a hit already on the first cycle. Okay. One Landmo down. Let's look at shkoople. Okay. Fox got his second Land Mollusk down. Same with shkoople. And okay, they are very close still.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so Fox entered the fight earlier, right? Because it looked like shkoople closed the gap a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, shkoople definitely made up a bit of time. Fox still ahead, maintains the lead. And there's another equalizer coming up in this next segment. So, there's still a lot of game left, and definitely not impossible for shkoople to catch up, as we're still early on in the game.
Yeah, we have all of Hera.
So coming up here is fake flippers. So what the runners are going to try and do is they're going to screen transition on the very last pixel of the screen. So they're going to fall in the water, screen transition on the very last screen, so now they are able to swim, even though they don't have flippers, and then they're going to swim into this whirlpool. And there you go. So now they're much farther than otherwise intended. This saves about 6 seconds over just dashing upwards normally.
Oh, Fox is using a newer strat, by the way, where he has boomerang equipped for this overworld, and he was able to switch to boomerang while the pendant was falling, which gave him an opportunity for a free menu, and so that's what he chose.
Oh,
shkoople did not change menus, and we'll just go with bow.
Yeah, so the other thing to point out about fake flippers is it looked like they executed very easily, but it can also be somewhat of a risky trick if you're not careful, because if you get hit while you're swimming in that state, then you soft lock the game. And it is the only point of the run where it is soft lock potential. But as long as you do everything right, then it shouldn't happen very often.
Oh no, shkoople gets hit during super speed. It's one of the most important rooms to get a super speed state in. Yeah. So shkoople just retries it on the next ladder.
Yeah, and having super speed is really good for the screen, so that way you have a much likelier chance of dodging the boulders. But even so, like, the boulders can still get in your way. So a little bit unfortunate for shkoople. And now we go through Hera, and Hera can be pretty scary, as a lot of enemies here do 1 heart damage, and that damage can add up, especially if you've already taken quite a bit of damage in Death Mountain.
It's already dodging Moldorms.
Yeah.
And we're seeing boom strats from Fox. shkoople is sticking with no boom strats. And in other words, he's already on lamp. And that will be used to light the torch.
Fox is going to try and do, hopefully. Okay, there we go. So he used the boomerang and dash at the same time, known as an item dash. And so he was able to throw the boomerang down at the same time. Wait, what is this? What's going on here on shkoople?
shkoople's going fast.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, it does not speed up the room.
No, it doesn't, but that looks really cool. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's spin speed that you can get by picking up a pot and taking it into the stairwell.
Oh, interesting.
But we can't do anything with it except go fast.
Yeah.
In that room.
Yeah, so he was able. So anyway, Fox was able to dash and stop right on the pegs, and then gain iframes while he was, as long as he's standing on the pegs, which makes the tile room pretty much chill, because you can just relax there and not do anything until the tile room is over. And then we're coming to our next sequence break, which is called a bomb jump. What Fox is going to try and do here is he's going to line himself up very close to the pit, and as well as the bomb very close to the pit. And that looks good. There you go. And that allows the bomb to boost him across that pit without having to go to the top floor, fall down, and then get the moon pearl.
And shkoople gets the early bomb jump. Let's go, shkoople.
And then now we're coming up to everybody's favorite boss. Nobody's ever lost a run to this boss before.
It's Moldorm.
So you can only hit Moldorm on the tail. The head will kind of knock you around. So you'll be seeing runners go around the head as much as possible to hit the tail. Sometimes you'll see them dash. Ooh, okay. Or sometimes you'll see runners spin attack. Those are very clean fights. Very well done for the runners here. So we saw Fox do a little bit when it looked like Fox was about to fall down. But what he did is he held his sword out and held away from the pit, which prevents him from getting knocked down. It's a technique that you can use in order to decrease your chances of falling down during the Moldorm fight.
Right, time for Death Mountain Descent Cave. And the main thing is here, don't bonk, don't fall in a hole.
Yep. So Fox cuts this dash short. It's better to stop your dash early, so that way you don't bonk. And so now we're going for tree rupees here for both runners. You want to talk about tree rupees?
Yeah, I'd love to. So we have prizes that come from specific trees: green rupees, blue rupees, or red rupees, and they are used in this route ever since ACMLM found the pattern to pull what you need in 2014, and that changed the route so that our runners will pick up 20 if needed from the first tree and 80 if needed from the next one, and then they'll have the rupees they need to get into Palace of Darkness. And it's based on enemy kills, and they need 4 enemy kills to get to the second or third tier.
And grabbing these rupees saves about 6 seconds over getting Sahasrara rupees if done well enough. So they got the Massive Sword, which is their first sword upgrade, so their sword damage is going to do a little bit more damage, and with the addition that if they're on full HP, they'll do sword beams. And because of sword beams, it can be used to defeat enemies from a distance, or even like hit switches from a distance in order to solve some puzzles later on in later dungeons. This is kind of the point where health management is going to be pretty important in specific parts of the run.
Both runners using the bird dash through the log to get their last enemy kill.
So they're going to head their way into Castle Dungeon, and you need the Massive Sword in order to enter Castle Dungeon, the top part of Castle Hyrule. And this dungeon's pretty much like a gauntlet of like a lot of like several rooms where you're fighting enemies, dodging enemies. There's a couple of dark mazes that they have to go through as well.
So we have the gold guards. We typically have 2 arrows and sword strats.
Yep. And there we go. So that didn't really look like much, but he fought those 2 soldiers in a way. You see Shkoople do it too, in order to manipulate a fairy drop later on in Turtle Rock.
That's right. There were no prizes that were dropped, and that's because no prizes are dropped when you kill with a dash attack.
Yeah, exactly.
We want the prizes later.
So.
Ooh, okay. Good.
Okay, very nice.
Dr. Fox just avoiding the enemy altogether. And Shkoople's able to avoid it as well.
Yeah. Very nice red guard room. Nice. Okay, now we got Circle of Pots. Okay, so that's a very good pattern there. That second red soldier was moving up and down on the right, which means that red soldier will not get in the way as he deals with the one that has the key.
Yeah, Shkoople gets the harder RNG, but dealt with it by booming the guard.
Yeah. Yeah, in some categories where you don't have the boomerang going into Hyrule Castle, that room can be really annoying sometimes. Alright, so now it's RNG time. So, Aghanim has a cycle of 5 attacks. The first attack is an energy shot. Attacks 2, 3, and 4 is an energy shot or a blue ball. 50% chance for either one of them. And then the 5th attack is a lightning, and the cycle repeats itself until Aghanim's defeated. Aghanim takes 6 energy shots to be defeated. So if the runners are very unlucky, then their max odds of blue balls, if they're very unlucky, come up to be 15. But it's extremely rare that only 2 people have ever gotten it. So far, the runners are doing pretty good. Also, another optimization, because that's one blue ball for Shkoople. So another optimization that the runners are doing is they're trying to hit Aghanim to the center as much as possible, so that way it takes less time for Aghanim to go from left to right, or right to left, less times.
Fun fact, Aghanim's lightning deals 2 hearts of damage, so don't touch it.
Oh, got many blue balls from the runners here. Oh, man. I lost count, but I think Shkoople has a lot of blue balls right now.
Yeah. He'll definitely get another cycle of lightning. And Fox is out.
Yep, Fox is first.
How many was that?
I have no idea.
Chat, help.
5? Okay. Oh, well, I guess Shkoople's saying 5. Maybe 5 for him. I don't know.
Yeah, that looks like what we're at.
Okay, so Shkoople out.
Oh, Trace. Okay, Fox got 3. Yeah, it was so when you get 3, there's a lightning cycle, and then the next shot is guaranteed, so that finished the fight. And we are into the Dark World now. A ramp up for difficulty. And we just need to go to the right side of the world and pay the monkey to let us into the dungeon.
Yeah, so the Dark World is definitely kind of where the game starts to get non-linear. So they have to do the first Dark World dungeon because without the hammer, the overworld does not open up very much. So they have to do the first Dark World dungeon. And then, so Palace of Darkness, which is the first dungeon, is kind of a harder version of Eastern Palace. There's a lot of... the first half is pretty much a lot of falling down, grabbing keys, as well as using the mirror. And the mirror is really good, is really useful, because the mirror allows the runners to warp back to the beginning of the dungeon, and it eliminates a lot of backtracking, because otherwise, normally, you fall down a floor, and then you have to find your way back up to the floor, and that's really slow.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. A little bit scary for Shkoople, but no problem.
I was surprised Shkoople boomed downward at the moblin. I normally see people boom the Ropa so they can continue straight up. But maybe, I don't know.
Oh, wow. That fireball was really close to hitting Fox.
That's right. It always looks scarier than it is. It is kind of crazy how many times we warp back to the beginning of this dungeon.
Yeah. And in addition to warping back, this also gives the runners a ton of opportunities to refill on bombs, as bombs are very plentiful throughout the run. Alright, so now that they got the big key, they're about to approach another major trick here. It is called the hammer bomb jump. So they're going to be lining up Link and the bomb in very specific positions in order to clip through a railing and get the hammer earlier than intended. And so they have to do all that while setting up over a collapsing bridge. And so what the runners will be doing is they're going to pause buffering their movements in order to make sure they get the alignments correctly. Okay, that looks really good for Fox. Very nice.
And he uses sword buffers to get to the final position.
So what that skips is having to get 2 extra keys, as well as going through that dark maze that you saw Fox briefly go into, and so you save quite a lot of time in this dungeon.
Good initial position for shkoople. Almost misses the pickup of the second bomb, but okay, we're good.
Okay, very nice. And so as long as you go get past that with at least 1, 2, or 3 hearts missing, then you're able to get 3 hearts, which will bring the runners at full HP. And having full HP is really useful through the second half of the dungeon, because they'll be hitting some switches from a distance. Otherwise, you have to do a lot of menuing just to hit those switches optimally.
Shkoople had an issue with the block push. You hate to see it. And he got hit as a punishment.
Yeah, but fortunately he only had 2 hearts down, so it's not too bad, as long as you're able to fill up at full HP at this part. So as you can see right there, using the sword beams instead of having to menu to the bow, or the boomerang, and then you know, every menu is about a couple seconds, so you want to try and minimize that as much as possible. So it's another part where health management is pretty important in the run.
Turtle room for Fox.
That's very good. And then I come up to the Helmosaur fight, the Helmosaur King fight.
And yeah, so Fox needs to hammer 17 times, and he's using spin speed to extend the hammer hitbox. Good fight.
It takes 4 hammers to defeat the second phase. So the top, you'll be seeing top runners like these guys do that in order to, you know, save more time on the fight. Otherwise, some other runners will try to go for 8 slashes. Yeah, and there's quite a bit of RNG in this fight as well, as Helmosaur can either charge at you, do the tail attack, or even fireballs. And you don't want to see fireballs, because you have to wait for the fireballs to split up. It's a little bit... Okay, there we go. This is actually...
fireballs.
Yeah, so this is also another is a pretty good benefit of having a Sanctuary Heart Container in this fight, because all of Helmosaur King's attacks do 2 hearts, and so you'll be going into this fight with 7 hearts. So you can take an extra hit, assuming you go into this fight with full HP. Alright, so now that they got their first Dark World dungeon completed, now, spoilers, these runners are not going to be doing the dungeons in order, as this is where the game starts to diversify. So they're actually going to go to the 4th Dark World dungeon next, as the 4th dungeon, Thieves Town, has a very useful item that tremendously speeds up the rest of the dungeon. So hammer dashing right there. Again, same thing as what Fox did with the boomerang, which is, you know, dashing and using the hammer at the same time in order to go through his pegs without having to hammer the pegs one by one.
Shkoople's going through the hedge maze, by the way. I do want to mention, this is a screen we've seen before, as we do have to escape this screen. But for some reason this time, the enemy RNG is much more difficult, because the Ropas have a higher chance of hitting you. But both runners escape it with no damage, which is nice.
Yeah. Alright, so Fox gets the flute. It is possible to skip this cutscene, but it does not save time in this category because they have to be in the light world right now.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, if you stay in the dark world, you can skip. You can skip the cutscene by warping back to the dark world, and maybe you are playing 100% and you're going to the digging game or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But here we need to go to Kakariko and activate our flute, like Fox is doing now.
Yep. So the flute is it is a required item. There is one part where it's required, but every other point where we use the flute is really useful for fast traveling. And now they'll be on their way to Thieves Town after this. So having super speed in this screen that Shkoople is on is really useful because that red soldier is very aggressive if you and it's really hard to dodge him otherwise without super speed.
Yeah. Believe me, I've tried. And it's like hard to find a consistent strat.
Yeah. Oh, so every once in a while, they'll just bonk for seemingly no reason, and that's because sometimes there's just these random bush rocks that are hiding in the bushes, and there's not really much you can do about that. Alright, so now they're in Thieves Town. Fairly simple dungeon to go through. There is what's known as the Heck Way, where you could eat up a lot of damage if you're very unlucky.
Yeah, that can be a source of time loss in this segment. That's not for another few rooms. They do need to get the big key early, and then they go through the whole back of the dungeon. And in the key pot hallway, our runners want to find something to nudge on, basically, and then they can get a key dash through the door. So they're able to dash to the left and open the door without stopping. Okay.
Oh, Fox is...
He's got Gibos in the way.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh. And they're
Oh my gosh.
I feel
no
like
way.
he needs to fight back,
Okay,
but maybe I'm wrong.
okay. Alright, that's gonna give a little bit of an opportunity for Shkoople to catch up depending on what he gets when he gets there. So we'll see what happens here. Also takes a hit on the way to Heckway.
Hey, Shkoople's
That's
got
really
the
good.
God pixel.
Yes! Alright!
That's what he needed.
Alright, so if you position yourself in a pixel-perfect position just like that, and then you can dash right through, but then you also gotta hope that the enemies do not get in the way. So, it's pixel-perfect and also RNG, whether you get that. But it looks really cool if you get it.
Oh.
Oh.
Looked like Shkoople took a bop from a buzz. I didn't see why that happened, but I don't know. Just a slight stray movement can do that.
His health should still be fine. So we'll see what happens here.
Dash strats for Fox going through the key door. Key doors of the cells.
He's gonna rescue the maiden.
And there's a famous key dash. You just stand still in the door and then dash straight to the left.
So he grabs a Titan's Mitts, which is a very useful item, which significantly opens up the Dark World after this dungeon. So much that it makes this next... they're going to be doing an optional side quest that, seems like it loses a lot of time because you don't need to do it at all, but... it saves so much time everywhere else that it's very much worth it.
Yeah, in particular at the Ganon fight.
Exactly. So here's Blind. So Blind, if you've played this game casually, you might know that this fight was very hard. But as long as you fight him the same way every single time, then it should be really easy. There are some runners that kind of come up with their own ways of fighting Blind, and as long as you can do that, then you get a really consistent fight. So that was a good fight for Fox.
Then Fox was not very happy with that split. We did see a bonk here and there.
Yeah, and
That's okay.
and
He survived.
Yeah, and his Heckway was very unfortunate too.
That's right.
And very nice for shkoople.
Nice hammer to finish it off. I didn't know that was a thing, but there it is.
Yeah, it doesn't do any more damage as Blind takes 3 hits per phase, and he does not 3 HP per phase.
Yeah, it is unique in that way.
Yeah, and if for some reason you die to Blind, then you know, the fight can be very disastrous going into it, as Blind spawns right away, and at least as far as I know, I don't think anybody's ever practiced the death cycle for that fight.
Just egging each other on. In the next segment, will we see early bomb jumps from our runners? We'll see.
All right. So they're going to be picking up some rupees here. They're going to pick up 300 rupees from this hut, and then there's another 300 rupee chest they're going to be opening up later, which will bring them at 600. They need 500, which is fine, but that's fine, because that's just how the rupee route works. All right, so they're going to rescue this frog, which is a dwarf in the light world, and they're going to upgrade their sword in the smith shop. It's 10 rupees. It's really cheap for, you know, a sword upgrade. And then it takes a screen transition to get their sword finished. So they're really fast at their job. But yeah, so this sword does so much damage that it's definitely worth going out of your way to pick up in this category. So this is definitely going to speed up, the extra damage is definitely going to speed up the rest of the dungeons from here on.
Yeah, and in particular, oh, we have a fence dash from Fox.
Nice.
This is the run. Yeah, in particular, it's Mothula that we'll see next, where the Tempered does a great job. So, that's not till the end of the segment, but hopefully the Moth is taken care of in 3 hits.
Yeah, and keep in mind, this is that they did the 4th Dark World dungeon. Now they're doing the 3rd Dark World dungeon. So at this point of the game, they're not really supposed to have Tempered Sword. All right, here we go. This is in my opinion, the worst room of the dungeon.
Okay.
Fox
does a fine job fending off the mummies.
Yeah. That room can go very poorly if anything goes wrong in that room. Unfortunately, Fox did a great job. Let's see, Shkoople, how he does it. Actually, I got 2 things going on here. We got Shkoople going through the mummy room. Oh!
He pushed the statue too far. That's not ideal.
Oh, the Wall Master! Meanwhile, Fox just got the bomb jump, which saves him from having to go into that 3x3 bush to get the fire rod that way. But Shkoople made it through the mummy room just fine. Lost a bit of HP, but hopefully should be fine. The rest of Skullwoods isn't the most free, but we'll see what happens.
Here we
nice
go.
bomb jump.
Shkoople makes it up with an EBJ.
Moldorm is not in a good position. Okay. Takes the fall in order to have iframes going out of Yeah, in order to go through that ropa right there. So let's see what we got here.
Oh.
Okay.
Fox misses the
Uh-oh.
input. So the room didn't go the way he wanted.
Oh, even the
Oh, he's
mold
taking
almost
some
got-
damage, so he'll
Oh,
take
man.
the bunny beam hit here.
Yeah.
He might. Is he not gonna wait out? No. Okay.
Yeah. So if that didn't happen, what he was trying to do was he was trying to get the he would get the Gibdo into the spike, and the Gibdo will take spike damage, but he wasn't able to do that. But now here's Mothula.
Nice.
Okay, very nice. So that fight either goes really well or really wrong, and there's no in between. It looked really fast, but he was doing that in a way where Moth does not get hit over the spikes. Otherwise the spike damage will overwrite his slash damage.
Oh,
we got a fairy, which
Okay.
I guess in this sense it does work out since he did take a bit of damage early in the dungeon. But that also means he's not gonna get the fairy drop that he wants later on in Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Okay, another one spike fight. So well done from both runners.
Yeah.
Shkoople even entering the fight with beams, which can make it harder sometimes.
Yeah. So one of the downsides of having sword beams is when you're trying to maximize damage, sometimes the sword beams can overwrite your slash damage. It can be a little bit frustrating sometimes if you're trying to maximize damage, but we didn't see that happen. All right, so now the runners are going to be off to
Or
yeah, they're going to be off to getting flippers now. While we're getting was that?
We heard Fox play the flute before the transition, which clears the area of effect. It's the altitude variable that is. Never mind. I can't really explain it cohesively right now, but concisely right now. But basically, it's useful for the first room of Ice Palace. We'll be able to quickly take out the Freezor. We're basically repairing the Fire Rod.
Oh, interesting. I've always assumed that people just did it for fun.
Yeah, it saves us for having to wait the 4 frames it takes for a Freezor to come out of the wall. Because the splash damage will work correctly, basically, and the Freezor will be killed instantly.
Yeah. Okay. So, no lotteries. That Ropa that Shkoople just passed can sometimes hit the runners, but we didn't see that this time.
And we had the quick fish strat for Fox, where the rock lands outside of the ring of rocks. Now Shkoople tried for it, didn't get it, so he had to take care of the ring with a bush.
Yeah, so the runners are now going to get flippers. Their next dungeon is Ice Palace, and it is possible to fake flippers to Ice Palace, but it doesn't save time, and they need flippers anyway for Swamp Palace, as there's not any way where you can fake flippers inside Swamp Palace at all.
Okay, this is a funny screen.
Oh boy.
We've got Zoras, we've got crabs.
Yeah, they want to be at full HP in order to save a little bit of time in the second room.
Right. So we'll see Fox diagonal up to the left and shoot the Fire Rod without stopping. There we go.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I gotta learn that.
Yeah, we're into Ice Palace, and this is a dungeon that just gets deeper and deeper, and if, it's one of the more punishing dungeons if you happen to lose a life here, basically, just because of the layout. And yeah, I don't know. That's all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, it's a very technical dungeon. It's a very brutal dungeon. If you die, Cold Stare, the boss of the dungeon, does 4 hearts of damage, and part of the reason Cold Stare does 4 hearts of damage is because they expect you to get the item, which these guys are not going to get. Blue Mail, which is a defensive armor upgrade. So you're not going to be seeing any of the runners pick it up. So here is the biggest sequence break of the entire game, which is the Ice Palace Bomb Jump. So similar to the hammer jump, they're going to be placing Link and the bomb at in specific positions in order to get the bomb jump, in order to boost their way around that peg while it's up, and while that peg is up, it actually sets them up so that way they can complete the dungeon without doing any roundabouts, as this dungeon would intend you to do.
Yeah, so shkoople had an issue getting into position because both red bars got in his way in the bombable floor, which is an annoying thing that can happen.
Wow! Okay, this is some tech I've never seen before on Fox.
Yeah, Fox used the spin clip to get through the stairwell. So that works by going at a diagonal angle and then releasing a sword spin. Fox got one of 2 variations you'll see, where you either stop to the left of the stairwell or to the right. So we got the slower one, but that only loses 10 frames or so.
All right, let's see this fight here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, very nice.
Good single poke strat.
Meanwhile, you're seeing shkoople do something else here, where he makes use of the ice physics in order to get to the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So very good Ice Palace for Fox. Meanwhile, we're about to see how shkoople's Ice Palace goes. This race is still really close, so even though Fox has been maintaining his lead throughout basically most of this race, there is still quite a bit of hard fights and technical movement and more tricks coming up here. So, shkoople, it's not over for shkoople yet. Okay.
Just one bop from the ice on shkoople's side, and both runners use the same strats, and Gold Stare's down.
Okay, so Fox is going to go get Ether. We'll see what shkoople does. So this is kind of the first part where you'll be seeing runners throughout the tournament kind of diverge in route, where some runners will either get Ether right after Ice Palace. It's it's suboptimal. It guarantees that you'll have full HP going into Misery Mire after this next split, because you don't have to deal with it during Mire. And then there's also Ice Rod, and it doesn't really matter when you get Ice Rod, but you do need to get it at some point. So Fox is gonna get Ether right now during Swamp Palace, and then we'll see what shkoople does here. Also going to Death Mountain.
Yeah. This route is more popular, I think. And it's especially because we don't want to risk getting hit in the Mire segment, where we want beams for Mire 2 and essentially want to conserve health.
Exactly.
Oh,
oh my god.
I love the face-off with Fox versus the Moblin.
Yeah, so what Fox did there is if you use the mirror in any cave location while moving the block, then the block just disappears. It's very easy to do. You just simply press Y. So. Okay, so both runners are going to go to Swamp Palace. They do have to get Ice Rod at some point. So, uh, an Ice Rod is an item that is pretty. It's like out of the way, so it can be an item that you can forget. But these runners have ran this game so much that I don't think they're gonna forget Ice Rod. The Swamp Palace is pretty much a chill dungeon. You've done Skull Woods and Ice Palace both back to back, and they're pretty difficult dungeons. And so doing this, it's our intended second dungeon, so it's not very hard. And so you get a nice breather point at this point after doing Ice Palace and Skull Woods back to back. But it's definitely not a dungeon you should be sleeping on because there are some RNG with enemies that can add up, as well as just unoptimal movement. So I guess while we're going through Swamp Palace, there's not really a whole lot you can do to in order to skip it. It's worth pointing out that I want to give a shout out to FoxLisk, the runner doing one of the racers here tonight. He's been putting together this tournament, putting in all the work.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's the 10th season of NMG League, and on certain seasons, it's not NMG. It's maybe another category. But it's mostly NMG, and it has been a lot of fun. For me, in particular, it keeps me playing this category, and it is a way to work on the speedrun. Racing is a way to get better.
Yeah, and this is a very popular racing category. We have races going on every week for this category. So
yeah,
it's a very approachable category. Anybody can get into it. It's easy to get into. Obviously, in order to get good at it, you do have to put in time, but it's a lot of fun.
Yep. Another hammer dash for Fox.
So what do you know about Shkoople? Since Fox has been the organizer, what do we know about Shkoople?
Well, Shkoople is one of the runners in NMG League. We'll start with there. No, but Shkoople has been running the game for many years. Sometimes he takes a break, but he always comes back. So it's good to see. And Shkoople is doing his best. In the words of Yoho.
All right, so Fox has got the hook shot. So what he just did there is he did an item dash with the hook shot in order to get super speed. That allows him to grab that pot once without having to try and grab it twice.
Yeah.
And that red jelly can sometimes electrify, which is what happened there. Sometimes he doesn't, and you can just dash right through. And if the runners are low on resources, they can stock up on bombs, arrows, and hearts in that room that Fox has passed, but it looks like Fox is pretty good on his resources. And now we got Argus. So let's see what happens here on Argus. This usually a really easy fight, but Fox is going to do something crazy here. Oh.
So Fox is having a hard time getting the item dash out right away. He's doing a good job with the rhythmic Y presses that he has to do, but he just didn't get all of the puffs down in time before the first cycle. That's okay though. He takes care of it after the cycle.
Yeah, that was still a pretty good fight. Yeah, normally you would hook shot the puffs and then slash them, but they did something. But as you can see, Fox did some crazy stuff right there in order to make the fight even faster. He was trying to do that in 0 cycles, and the 0 cycles when Argus does his attack, where he spreads the puffs out. But sometimes, depending on what Argus does, you miss the 0 cycle anyway.
Yeah, so shkoople starts the fight by walking up close to Argus, but he doesn't maintain the Y presses, unfortunately. Now he has to be careful because he has half of one heart left.
I might have jinxed him earlier when I said that when I said that you shouldn't die in Swamp, but I mean he's past the hard part of the fight.
Yeah, there we go. Argus is down.
Alright, so Fox going straight to Misery Mire. So he will be picking up Ice Rod after this dungeon. Yeah, so they can, he already got Ether, so he's going straight to Mire. And he has full HP.
Fox used a new tech where he does a medallion slash. It's a Y and B on the same frame, and it saves about 5 frames.
Oh, interesting.
It has to do with Link's animation. It skips a few frames of the spin animation that is happening during the medallion.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, fast Mire 2 for Fox.
Meanwhile, we'll see what shkoople does. Also going to Mire.
Yeah. So they'll both pick up their Ice Rod in Turtle Rock. Okay. So our runners, by the way, let the duck pass through a certain position in the screen before warping to this overworld screen. And that sets an altitude that affects the fire rod later, and that will be used for spooky action glitch. And we'll see that in a few rooms. But first, we have to light the torches and make our way through the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, and so what you're seeing Fox do, and this looks kind of weird for any of the new viewers, but he can actually shoot the fire rod through the blocks while it's moving, and it saves having to move the blocks out of the way and then light the torches, or having to go around and shoot the fire rods through the railing.
That's right.
So he gets the big key here.
I take that for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Mire 2 looked funny, but then when I rewatched it on the channel, it looked fine. So I wasn't. So I feel like I can still call it Fast Mire 2.
Yeah. Oh, Fox going for, I believe it's called the Spark Gamble. Didn't get the gamble, unfortunately. So health management's pretty important in this dungeon, because the fastest way to beat Vitreous, the boss of the dungeon, is by doing a ton of intentional damage. Oh my gosh! shkoople. Should be fine.
Yeah, walking into a Wizrobe is not ideal, but that takes him down by 4 hearts. So he'll need to be a bit more careful in this dungeon, and he won't have any room for error in Vitreous.
Yeah, there is one opportunity where you can get 1 heart, but aside from that, there's not a lot of room to work with what he got right now. All right, so here we go. This is a Spooky Mire glitch.
Yeah,
so he placed that block pretty specifically, and that and this is gonna look really weird, but nice.
Spooky 1, good. Yeah, nice dash trap for Spooky 2.
and that skips having to go blow up the bombable room up on the top. And all
get
3
Spooky
rooms
3.
really well executed. All right, now we have the Vitreous fight.
Fox has got 9 hearts. We normally look for a 1 cycle here. He's gonna have to clean up these.
He missed that eyeball. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a 1 cycle. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Shkoople. Okay, so Shkoople now has 6 HP to work with.
Yeah, that's not bad. Could be worse.
A little bit of a slow approach, so yeah, he's gonna... Okay. He still gets the dash.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about this? How does this trick work?
I don't want to risk talking about it again. But basically, the altitude of the duck has to do with the area of effect from the fire rod. So when the fire rod hits something, like when it hits this torch here, its area of effect is going to hit several tiles above it. That's about equal to the height above the ground that the duck was. So the area of effect hits the switch in that room. Oh no!
Oh no!
That's a death to Vitreous. Unfortunate.
Oh my gosh. That's rough.
Yeah. So Shkoople moved up left into the eye at the end. It just wasn't the movement he needed.
Oh, he's having a rough Meyer 2 to follow suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately that is how rough Meyer gets. You know, if you've taken too much damage on the way to Vitreous, you might not have the health needed in order to do the optimal strat, or even like sometimes, like in the case there where he accidentally got hit by the eyeball, then the eyeball does 4 hearts of damage. Meyer as an entire dungeon is super rough.
Okay, so Shkoople once again has 6 hearts. He's refilled his magic. He's off to try again. Typically, we can preserve the spooky variable and get through the second and third rooms just fine. And the first room, we don't need to hit the switch anyway.
Yeah, that can sometimes be hard to remember. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Okay.
There, he remembers.
Yeah, if you don't remember that, then yeah, that can cause problems.
Fox dodges the bird for some reason. Maybe a missed menu. But he makes it to the Turtle Rock opening, so we're good.
Alright, round 2 for Shkoople here. Oh my gosh.
And
okay,
zero
much
cycle,
better.
So there it is.
Yeah, that's a bit rough. Meanwhile, Fox entering Turtle Rock now. So another pretty brutal dungeon.
Okay.
Wow.
As you can see, that's a big time loss too. And there's really nothing we could do about that. We don't want to fight this Bari. Wow, and it's still guarding. Amazing.
Oh my god. Yeah, doing a couple extra slashes there to vent his frustration off of that.
Shkoople, I'm sure, is watching from the cutscene. Well done to Fox's RNG.
Yeah, this is kind of the RNG that Shkoople needs out of Fox in order to attempt to make up that time that he lost from the death.
Yeah, as a joke, yeah. But we're at a point in the race where there's no realistic number of mistakes that will slow Fox down at this point. But, it's a race where, disasters can happen, but we won't talk about that.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, but yeah.
We don't want to see that. Okay, but we're through chomps, so that is a good thing.
Yeah, that room can be a mess very quickly if it goes wrong, but we didn't see that from Fox.
All right, Fox is at 4 arrows, so he'll be skipping the arrow pot in Turtle Rock, and he'll pick up 15 more before the Armos refight.
Yes, there's a 10 arrow chest right before in Ganon's Tower that you can pick up. So there's so these Poke rooms that Fox is going through are random, and what runners will do is they try to memorize what patterns the Pokes do in order to know what strats to do going into them.
Fox doing his patented walk up to the crystal switch and then slashes it. Not my favorite strat, but it is something to talk about.
Okay, one Poke goes
we get a fairy drop.
and he gets the fairy. That's
that.
gonna be very good.
Oh,
so
he doesn't get full health.
Yeah, he took a bit of damage beforehand. But yeah, so earlier when we fought those 2 soldiers in Castle Dungeon in a pretty specific way, that's what that fairy drop came from.
Do we get the squeeze? Yes, we do.
Nice.
Very good.
That is very tight.
Yeah, so it's not so tight if we have beams and we can use a beam strat, but that's okay.
And he takes an intentional damage from that fire bar, as optimally there's not really a way to prevent that damage from happening unless you use the hook shot, but that's really slow. And now we got the laser room. So you might notice that these runners actually skip the item to dungeon, which is the mirror shield. They don't need it. And there you go, and that's the reason why they don't need it. So you kind of nudge below that little railing on that laser, and then you can beat that laser quick enough to where you can get that key without the laser hitting you.
So Fox's peg maze didn't go the way he wanted to, but he's able to get through it with no disaster.
Alright, so try next fight. Ice Rod on the red and Fire Rod on the blue.
And nice dash pokes from Fox.
Yeah,
he's able to refreeze. Really,
oh my gosh, Shkoople getting rough on chomps. Not too bad, he made it out. Just unfortunate damage.
And Trinex is down for Fox.
Shkoople picking up the arrows.
Yeah. That's different than Fox's calculation, but that's okay. More arrows is more good.
Yeah. Okay, very nice Poke Room. And dodges the bunny beam in the process as well. So we finally rescued Zelda, and we need all 7 crystals in order to break the barrier to Ganon's Tower. And so Ganon's Tower is a very, very technical dungeon. It's definitely the biggest skill check that definitely separates different tiers of runners in this game.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, do we? No, we don't.
Oh my gosh.
Shkoople sees the arrows.
Yeah, those 10 arrows are definitely tempting.
So, Yeah, Ganon's Tower is fun. It's got a puzzly basement followed by an action combat oriented tower. And here we go. Fox into
Yeah.
Ganon's Tower.
So he's gonna go to the left side. You don't want to go to the right side at all. It's much slower and just more difficult to go through. So there's a few different keys that the runners will go for. Fox is opting not to go for the torch key, so he's going to go for a different key towards the top of Ganon's Tower later on. And you're seeing really cool uses of our items here, where he's going to use the boomerang at a precise... Oh, didn't quite do that. And there you go. And he's going to do it again here in this next room, where he's going to throw the boomerang, quickly hook shots to the right, in order to get past those pegs.
Now, Fox came up with a strat where he opens the door first, and I think it's quite interesting. I don't see anyone else doing that strat, but I'm not really sure the reason. It's either easier for Fox and it breaks even, or it is faster in his testing, and I'd be curious to talk about that.
Yeah. So, Shkoople going up to Trinex now. Let's see what happens here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the red. Oh, misses that. That's okay. Takes a hit. Oh my gosh! Okay, meanwhile, Fox is approaching Ice Armos. Grabs the arrows, and then now he's going to be...
Harris.
Okay, nice. Shkoople defeats Trinex. Shoots 2 arrows on the one on the bottom because that's going to be the last one he's going to be defeating. And there you go. And then grabs the 10 extra arrows, mirror out. Now we get to the fun part. So there's gonna be a lot of rooms where he has to clear out enemies as fast as he can in order to optimize those rooms. Okay, very good on the first room.
Really nice mimics. We have 2 arrows for Gauntlet. Is that enough?
Yeah. And similar to Thieves Town, if you don't move in that room, then you can do a key dash.
Okay. Fox goes for the Ganon Ball Z dashes and doesn't go for the second dash, the redash. It seemed like the right call. So Fox goes for an up slash in G2. That was well done. This is Gauntlet, by the way, a series of 5 combat rooms. Oh
My god, the heart and the arrows.
I couldn't tell whether that... It seemed like it was an accident picking up the pot, but I'm not totally sure. All right, not ideal, but Fox gets through it with no disasters.
Yeah, that was
IMO.
pretty good Gauntlet overall. And now we're going to land Molas. So with Fire Rod, it takes 2 Fire Rod shots to beat him. Unfortunately, with the RNG, you know, that can happen sometimes too. You'd also have to worry about the fire shooting statue. Oh man, the right dash.
Oh, Fox is having issues with his controller, I think. That might have been a symptom of that.
And hopefully it doesn't happen as the term progresses.
Nice Wizrobe rooms for Fox.
And his magic is, oh man, his magic is looking really good for these torch rooms here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want any disasters in the torch room.
Yeah, he's able to use a Fire Rod shot without picking up the magic pot.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Shkoople takes a
He
hit from the
goes for
anti-fairy.
okay. All right, so he's gonna go for the very last key. Some other runners you'll see as the tournament goes on that some other runners will probably go for the Helmasaur key.
Yeah, I would be curious because that's not a very popular key to pick up. So you're right, we might see that.
All right.
Moldorm 2 is down.
Yeah, it is technically possible to skip this fight, but that involves doing a really hard trick. So I didn't expect Fox to do it. Most likely not Shkoople either. But we're approaching Aghanim for the second time.
It's a really hard fight.
Oh, Shkoople takes a hit.
All right.
1, 2. That's probably 2 hits.
Probably 2.
3.
Yeah, Aghanim can eat energy shots, unfortunately, if you hit him at approximately the same time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's 5 now. Alright.
And Aga 2 is down. Nice fight.
Yeah, so if 2 energy shots hit him very close together, then the second shot does not count, which is what happened there on Fox's end.
And Shkoople's into Gauntlet. He uses a pot throw strat in G2.
Okay, very nice Gauntlet 3.
Yeah, so Shkoople misses in G4, and some runners like to use an arrow strat to make that more consistent.
Yeah. Okay. So Ganon fight, 12 hits per on the first and second phase. The hits do not carry over. So we got a nice 1 cycle in the first phase. This looks pretty good on the second phase here. He just has a dodge to fire bats. All of Ganon's hits do 4 hearts of damage, so it's pretty rough with green mail. But these runners are good enough to where they can handle it. And it takes 1 hit for Ganon to stomp the floor 4 times, and now we get to phase 4, where now it takes 12 hits to beat him. You might notice for the newer viewers not familiar with the speedrun, they do not get silver arrows at all. So what they're doing here is they're doing these precise spins in order to hit Ganon right before he teleports. And also, if you light the left torch before the right goes out, then the right will never go out, which saves a lot of magic in this fight, and that's very useful in order to execute the strat that Fox is going for.
Yeah, looking good so far.
Yeah. Nice.
Ganon is down.
Fox wins.
Yeah, for anyone interested in upping their game in Phase 4, Fox has a tutorial on it, a pretty good video tutorial.
Yeah. All right,
GG to Fox.
34. Or 31, actually, according to race time. Pretty good, very good time. Meanwhile, Shkoople just finished off Moldorm 2.
Yeah, so Fox got a 125. A goal of his D-Rust was to submit a qualifier with a 125. So now he's got it. He's improving. He's back. And Shkoople's going into the Aga 2 fight. Again, one of the most difficult fights. And that's because it's very hard to predict exactly what you need to do to get as few cycles as possible.
Yeah, and you also need really good geometry too, so it's a really hard fight to get good at.
Exactly. And it's a bit different from the Landmo fight in that way, because you have control of your bow. You know which direction it's going to shoot. But it's not always easy to get the correct angle of an energy ball.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Shkoople coming into this fight with 2.5 hearts. It can be scary. He cannot afford to take a hit. Goes for some dashes. Oh man. Oh my gosh, okay.
We didn't really talk about Ganon RNG. This boss can be a real I don't know how to put it, but we can lose a lot of time in this fight just because Ganon doesn't stop warping.
Yeah,
It
it's
can
a
ruin
mystery.
runs.
Yeah, it's a mystery of what the maximum odds of him warping, or like what the most amount of warps is. But we have seen a lot of warps before.
Yeah, I've seen 25 myself, and I don't know who has more than that, basically.
According to Fox and chat, Andy has 37.
Right. And
Nice.
Ganon's down for Shkoople. GG's.
All right, should we get them in for a interview? Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, Shkoople is declining on an interview. Oh,
We're joined by Fox. Congrats on the win. GG on the race.
Hey, thank you.
So, not an ideal series of segments, but you did get a 125, which is better than qualification period.
Yeah, it's the best run I've done in the last 2 or 3 weeks, so I guess that's good.
how did you feel about the run overall?
Pretty bad for the most part. There were a couple of good segments, like Aga Tower was pretty good. Ice was not bad, but a lot of big problems. I mean, it's okay. I've been not feeling great the last couple weeks and not getting a lot of practice in, so I wasn't expecting to perform great.
Okay.
Seems like it was a good race until the unfortunate Vitreous death, but you know that happens sometimes.
Yeah. So so talking about that, up until Vitreous, you two were very close. Did that affect you at all, or did you still play your own game during like when you guys were very close up until then?
No, I always knew what would happen. It was foreordained.
Okay.
You seem to be a person who can split his focus. You don't shy away from watching the stream or chatting in the chat room.
Yeah. I don't I've said this before. I find speedrunning like not quite engaging enough to do like alone by itself.
Yeah.
Right? I want to be interacting with chat or watching the restream or something, not just like 100% focused on the game.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that like some people can do. Some other people they don't really like handle that mentally as well as others. But it's really cool that we've seen you like interact with us as you do your run. Um, so as the tournament goes on, what are you or do you have any what are you looking forward to in your future matches as the tournament progresses?
I'm looking forward to crushing my enemies and seeing them driven for me, and hearing the lamentation of their women. I don't know. I just like racing. I like doing this. I wasn't like 100% into it this time around, so I don't know. I'm glad that I decided to at the last minute, and I don't know. Should be fun. I like doing races. Hopefully, I'll do some comms as well.
Yeah.
Before we go, Chex, would you mind explaining how spooky works to us?
I'm gonna go now. I'll see you guys later.
All right, thanks for the comms, guys, and thanks so much to
Yeah.
Baseball for restreaming for us today.
Yeah, and GG's to both you and Shkoople for the race. Very, very good to kickstart the first match of the tournament. It's very awesome. And also I want to thank you Chex for joining with us in commentary.
You're welcome. Fun to commentate with you, M-Chan.
Yeah.
Great race from you guys, Shkoople and Fox. So looking forward to the rest of League.
Yeah. Yeah, so stay tuned, everybody, for the next matches, and yeah, we'll see you guys on the future matches of this league.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching today. Thanks, comms. MChan338 checks. Great work, runners. Great work, as always. Tons more league happening. So that means tons more restreams. Keep an eye out. Yeah, we're gonna head over to Bitey's stream. He's doing NMG runs. So hope you enjoy that. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.